VOP, I don't know why I watch you. Maybe I watch your weight. Bye.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Wale Ojo, and you're watching VOP, Voice of the People.
Hi guys, you already know who it is. This is New Energy. Flyers wherever live. Keep watching VOP TV. Thank you.
Hi, people. Jenny Albano here. Guys, please keep watching Voice of the People.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People television. Now you have more than a voice.
VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People television. VOP TV. Youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space. Exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People television, truly a voice for the people.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People television. Now you have more than a voice.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. But for us, the technical crew,
it's weird for technical people to be in front of camera, but I just want to say,
now this is why they make me come outside every day, anytime.
Welcome, guys. It is hashtags right here on VOP TV. It is the very first edition for this week, and I'm so excited to hang out with you today. It promises to be a roller coaster as usual, because we will be talking about some of the events that broke over the weekend, but we've got very fresh scoops for you, right? So if this is your first time here, accept a warm welcome from us. This is where we're going to tell you all things trending, all things topical. Of course, I'm not flying this plane solo. I got my co-anchor here, but first, I am Vivian Oguche.
And I'm Ikechukwu Aguagu. Yes, today, like Vivian said, it is the very first edition of this week's hashtag. And if this is your very first time of being part of us and you're not yet part of the family, all you need to do is to actually like, share, and of course subscribe on our YouTube platform. Do not also forget to hit the notification bell so you don't get to miss another episode of the show. As we continue to count down to the end of the year 2025, I cannot but once again say welcome to you for joining us today if this is your very first time. But if you've always been part of this, fasten your seatbelt because it's going to be an interesting episode.
All right, that said, let's get this show on the road without further ado. The first hashtag for today is Wike versus Fubara. Yeah? Hashtag Wike versus Fubara. For context, Wike being former governor of Rivers State, current FCT minister, and his erstwhile godson. I'm saying erstwhile because it looks like they've not really mended the fence yet, because Wike is saying, things are never going to be all right between the two of them. So Fubara being the current governor of Rivers State, who once upon a time was suspended. So this is it, right? Wike had a media parley and he wanted to address a number of issues. One, he wanted to address the fact that Fubara had declared himself the #1 citizens as regards when it comes to the APC, that he is 001. I prefer saying 001, but 001. Fubara had said he is now the #1 APC member in Rivers State. He said that 2 weeks ago. Apparently, that did not sit well with Wike at all. So Wike found it necessary to address that. But in case you didn't catch it 2 weeks ago, Nigerian Journals has that story. So let's take a short walk down memory lane. We'll go to X now, so you take a look at that post that introduced Fubara's video. You're going to be watching in a short while of him saying he's the #1 citizen in APC in Rivers State. Let's do it. Hashtag Wike versus Fubara. So Nigerian Affairs Journal says, I'm not just a member of the APC, I'm the #1 in Rivers State. I've collected my registration card and it reads 001. It sounds beautiful when I call it 001 here, so bear with me, yeah? This was dated December 12th, and Nigerian Affairs Journal said Governor Fubara declares himself the leader of APC in Rivers State. Take a listen to the video, guys.
I'm also very happy this morning. I'm not just a member of the All Progressive Congress. I am the #1. I have collected, listen, wait now, wait. I have collected my card and the form is 0001.
So that's a short walk down memory lane just 2 weeks ago when Fubara declared himself the leader of the APC in Rivers State. So take a look at what Wike said today. The Nigeria Affairs Journalist also has that post, and we have a video to back it up. But take a look at it now. Wike is firing back at Fubara. So this is not the post I would love for you to take a look at. It's the post where Wike was saying that Fubara is not the leader of the APC in Rivers State. So let's just take a listen to the video since we can't pull up the post.
Let me tell you, there's nothing like in the state 001. You register in your ward and your local government. It's in your ward. So if you are 001, it is in your ward. There's nothing like state registration called 001. There's nothing like I've registered in the state as 001. Everybody registered in his own ward. You could be the first person to register by virtue of your position.
But operationally as a sitting governor, yes, he becomes the leader of the party.
I don't know about that.
How would you not know that?
I don't know about that. Because if he says so, who's the leader of APC in the Lagos State?
The governor.
Your Excellency. So there are exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
the exception to the rule. Assuming it's a rule.
And the leader of NMPP in Kano is Kwankwaso.
So let's not go into those kind of things. See.
So, Wike is saying, no, you are not 001 in Rivers State. And reactions are pouring in. And trust me, this is not the end of the drama. There's where Fubara also came up to say at some point that if you want to support Ashiwaju, you don't do corner. And then Wike is firing back at him again. But before we get to that, let's see how netizens are reacting to this one playing out between these two titans in Rivers State. Shall we? Aha. So Daddy 14 says, last time I checked, Wike still prances around as a member of PDP and leads a faction of PDP. Can you be a member of PDP and also the leader of APC in Rivers State? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nigerian politics. Mena says, so Wike can no longer regard Tinubu as the leader of APC in Lagos. David says, the APC Governors Forum doesn't see it the way you said it. If you get power, show up inside their Governors Forum, make I check something. And then Taiwo says, imagine this Wike that has condemned Godfather, I'm sure he's trying to say Godfatherism some years back. And then we have Adeyemi GCFR who says, it's Wike in APC. Why is he crying more than the bereaved? There was a post we saw earlier on that's supposed to fall under reaction. Mimi also said something along these lines. Can we go back to that and then we'll go back forward? We'll now take some steps forward to the other reactions. Let's do it. Mimi says, Wike says there is no 001. Is that a challenge to Fubara or something bigger? From Rivers to Abuja, this statement raises questions about who really leads and who controls the party structure. So let's take a look at other reactions now, shall we? We are taking steps forward now, not backward. So, Nzendiam Nambra says, so Wike is ready to leave PDP and join APC because Fubara has threatened him. Politics now, your mate. Miyaki says that why is he worried about the gov being 001 in APC in the state or whatever? What party is Wike in? Why is that a hard question to ask him? Merchant says Wike doesn't understand that a true power or that true power has to be silent on some things. Hence, he can never be like Tinubu or Kwankwaso in politics. He has his way, but that's where it ends. If you have to fight for to be called 001, then you've lost the battle. More reactions. Let's take a look at them. So, Nigerian Affairs Journal says, supporting Tinubu won't give you the ticket. Now, this is coming from the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, as he sends a cryptic message to Governor Fubara during his visit to Imoha local government area. There's a video, guys. Take a listen.
So the issue is not whether you are supporting Tinubu. That one we have taken it up long. Yes, so Tinubu's issue is not an issue. Do you understand me? Tinubu's issue is that nobody should come in there to tell me we are for Tinubu. I am mandated. Who is for Tinubu University? That cannot give you any ticket.
There's a little bit, Ikechukwu, before we continue with this hashtag, because there is more, right? Where Fubara was saying, don't do corner if you're supporting Ashiwaju. But I'd love for the technical crew to note where we stopped. We're going to be continuing from there in a short while. But hey, let's talk about this thing about Fubara being 001 and Wike saying, no, you are not the leader of the APC in Rivers State. Also, take a look at, you remember what you just saw? That was a mammoth crowd. Yeah? And they were singing, yes, and Wike is their leader.
Yeah.
What do you think is going on in Rivers State right now?
I think Nyesom Wike is actually overplaying it. You already know the weight of the power you carry. There's no point dragging who is 001. For all it's worth, he's definitely going to address Fubara as the governor of Rivers State till when he sees this.
Excellent.
Till when he ceases to become the governor.
Yeah, and you do remember not too long ago when the NSA visited Rivers State, he said President Tinubu asked him to tell Fubara, Governor Fubara, that he's very proud of him, that he's doing well as a leader.
So whether you like it or not, yes, we can look outside the optics and the camera and say, okay, this person is actually the leader. That cannot be disputed, right? But I mean, he's saying he's the leader of the APC. Yes, that's what it is. He's the governor. The governor is the number one citizen of the state.
I want to even understand what you're saying, because it looks like you're speaking from both sides of your mouth. Nyesom Wike is not a member of the PDP. So who is, say, minus optics, who is the leader of the APC in Rivers State?
Obviously, it's Nyesom Wike.
Is he a member of the APC?
Absolutely. At this point,
he's not. He has not declared. He said it himself that he's a member of the PDP.
Yes, he has not declared. True. On paper, he's still a member of the PDP. True. But we both know that.
No, you just.
No. Let me finish my statement. We both know that he's rooting for an APC president.
And that makes him the leader of the APC.
Wait now. He's rooting for an APC president. We saw the by-election in Rivers State. We saw it. Wait now. We have so many
hashtags that we need
Fubara
to I'm not having this argument.
But wait, Fubara did the by-election in Rivers State before now. PDP swap every part of Rivers State.
Is Nyesom Wike a member of the APC or not? It's a very simple question.
I'm not saying it's not.
Chicken.
But I'm saying he's the leader of the...
It's your opinion. You are entitled to it. Yeah. We move on now. Let's continue with hashtag Wike versus Fubara. Yeah, so Fubara now came on to say that it looks like some people are doing the corner thing here. And Wike, of course, responded. So I'm going to take you back to X. There is a post that's going to introduce us to Fubara's, comments. And of course, we'll take a look at the post that's going to introduce us to the video of Wike also responding. Let's do it. Hashtag Wike versus Fubara. Shall we? Thank you. So Everett says, sing Fubara's song for his boss, Wike. Only banned guys are employed in Rivers State. Wike banned, Fubara banned. So listen closely to what Fubara is saying so you understand what we're talking about here. Let's go.
No, they go corner. If you they follow Fubara, no, they go corner. Fubara, they tell you something. If you dey follow Asuwaji, no dey waka corner. Fubara, they tell you something. See Fubara tell you something. See Fubara tell you something. If you dey follow Fubara, they follow corner. Fubara tell you something.
Okay, so that's Sim Fubara saying if they follow Fubara, if they follow Ashiwaju, no, they follow corner. That's another crowd that kind of rivals Wike's crowd. Yeah. Do you want to talk about it, or do you want to listen to Wike firing back?
Okay, let's listen to Wike.
So there's a post also that's going to introduce us to Wike's comments. He's actually responding. It looks like these two guys, they are not even hiding the hostilities anymore. So we go back to what Wike has to say regarding what you just heard Fubara say. Once upon a time, this was Godson and Godfather, but it looks like, hey, the cookie has crumbled. Let's do it. Shall we? Let's take a look at the post now that's going to introduce the next video. All right, it looks like it's taking forever to come up. Well, finally it has come up. Imran Mohammed says, and he's quoting Wike on Fubara's new song. It's actually a new song. He says, I don't know who is supporting Tinubu that is doing corner. The whole of Nigeria knows that I'm the #1 supporter of Tinubu. What is corner corner? That's Wike talking. Take a listen, guys.
Who is supporting to follow corner corner?
What he was referring to, wouldn't that be a direct reference?
How could that be when the whole Nigeria knows that I'm one supporter of the tribu? What is corner corner? When I have stated openly that is what I will do. When the whole governors of PDP are accused me that I'm working for tribu, so how could that be a corner corner?
Yeah, but what happened to that?
No. If I'm doing corner corner, the assembly people will not go. The council chairman won't go. If they won't go. And let me tell you, I've always stated this, that why most people don't trust politicians is this issue that people don't keep to their words, and which is very wrong. And I don't want to be that politician. I want to be a politician that I have said something and go and sleep. This is what I've said. You don't need to think about it. Everybody knows that. Well, once I said this is what I would do, I would do it.
From all I can hear, clearly all is not well.
No, it's not well.
All is not well.
It's not about all is not well.
So just like one of the journalists was saying, apparently all is not well between Fubara and Wike. We didn't know it was going to pan out like this. You do know how shortly before he was called back from suspension, he had gone to Abuja to prostrate before his former boss. I'm talking about Fubara now, prostrating before Wike, holding his leg and saying, "My Oga." He came back and he said he's okay with his Oga now. I mean, all is well. And shortly after that, it was a gale of defection. The lawmakers first, I'm talking about, members of the River State House of Assembly, and then the governor himself, now ported from the PDP to the APC. And now take a look at what's happening between the two of them. Apparently, all is not well. And they're airing, their dirty linen. Oh, let me rephrase. They're making this very public. They're not hiding it. So what does this spell for their state, really?
Well, at this point, I know if there's anything I can beat my chest on, is the fact that there's not going to be any sort of impeachment, because they are both now, they both now have direct access to the president.
Yeah.
So whatever it is going to be, you guys sit down, let's have a conversation. That's what it's going to be. And you
think that was what his defection was all about, Fubara? Him protecting himself and closing the ranks, so that there will be no room for some kind of impeachment in the future.
It's possible. That was part of the condition that was given to him for him to be reinstated.
It's possible,
yes,
but we don't know.
It's possible. So, but the truth is, at this point, I think Wike has made a grave mistake, a very big mistake as a politician.
Which is?
He miscalculated it. Yes, there are times where you get angry, but then, that point where Fubara has actually shown that he's weak, he would have just called him back as soon as the president to settle it. And then, try as much as possible to cut that direct access that, he has to the president. Because power in politics is like real estate.
So you think Fubara has an edge now?
Not really an edge, but now he has that direct access, so he can actually, bring forth his own bid and say, Mr. President, I'm the governor now. I can give you this. If it's about, giving you River State, I have the power as the governor to give you whatever Wike can give you. So it's not about negotiation, and the president can actually look at, okay, this one can easily be controlled, this one can't, and decide to actually. It's part of politics, right? Like they always say, power is like real estate, where it's all about location, right? The closest point to the center of power is where the value is. And Wike at this point, is a man who is actually benefiting from the president after 2023. But Fubara now has an opportunity to actually give the president what Wike gave in 2023.
So because you seem to think Wike still holds sway it comes to the politics of River State.
It still does.
So based on what's playing out between the two of them now, what do you think is going to be Fubara's fate in the next time really he tries to rerun for a second term?
So again, right, it's all about, the person who can actually get access to the federal at this point, because whoever gets the direct access to the federal government, which is the president now, is most likely going to be the one that will win River State, because he needs, security protection. He needs his ballot box and everything protected. He needs, certain.
Who's the most likely to do that?
So
Fubara is the governor at the moment.
Fubara is the governor at this
Yeah.
point, and Wike has actually shown that he's loyal to the president. So it's a case of, the president looking at the both of them as a politician and say, this person is going to actually offer me the best value at this point. It's all about, what's very obtainable now.
Well, let's not project. Let's wait till we get to that. But it looks like this thing between Wike and Fubara is just gaining momentum.
It's going to come down to, deals. It's going to come down to the three of them sitting in a room, the president, the FCT minister, and Fubara. Fubara might say, okay, Mr. President, I'm definitely willing to give you this again. I want to run again. And Wike might say, okay, I don't want him to run. I'm just hypothetically saying, I don't want him to run
Well,
again.
let's wait. Let's
But
wait.
in the end, it's going to be the three of them having a conversation.
We'll
and,
cross that
we'll
bridge
see what's going to happen.
when we get there. But what most netizens are saying is that, oh my God, Fubara has learnt very well from his master. He has his own band now. He tells them what to sing. You know who he learned it from?
Wike.
Yeah.
And the truth is, so Fubara is doing this now because he now has direct access to the president.
Yeah. He wasn't doing it before.
Before, it was, the Wike that takes the message and brings back to Fubara. Right. That's exactly why I said Wike overplayed it.
Well, let's see how it goes, because I'm sure we've not heard the last of it. But we move on to the next hashtag, which is, again, Wike, and it is hashtag Wike versus Makinde. Remember how last week the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, had pulled the rug or the carpet off of the feet of the FCT minister when he came out? Nobody saw it coming. He took a rule of the playbook of the FCT minister again, like Fubara is doing, and he organized a media parley to say a lot of things about the FCT minister. Chief of them, a couple of things we're going to be addressing today, like we addressed last week. He said that Wike, a PDP member, former governor of Rivers State, current FCT minister, offered in a meeting that had the president, Seyi Makinde, and Wike himself, offered to hold down the PDP, like hold it down so that they can come up for air, so that the president can have a win in 2027, like a second term. He also said something that trended massively, talking about Seyi Makinde, that when he made his first $1 million, Wike probably was just trying to leave the law school then. That really cut close to Wike's heart, I'm sure. He addressed it today, as well as some other things. So it is hashtag Wike versus Seyi Makinde. Let's go to X now, so you see the first post that's going to introduce this hashtag to us. Shall we? Yeah. Nigerian Affairs Journal said Governor Makinde's problem was that he was not given a ministerial slot. You could see the anger in him during his last media chat. This is coming from Wike. Let's talk about this a little before we go to the next post. Ikechukwu, you do remember that during the media chat, the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, had mentioned this, that the president had asked him if his grouse was because his nominee for a ministerial slot did not make the cut. Instead, it was the Minister of Power, Adelabu, who is also from Oyo State, that made it. Seyi said no. His Excellency, Seyi Makinde, said no, that he was just, that the person the president has selected from Oyo State would not be able to hold the party structure in the state. That was the comment Seyi Makinde made. But Wike is saying no, that he's angry because his own nominee did not make the cut. You think really that could be it?
Well, politicians are not to be trusted. So it's possible that, Seyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State, also not, telling the entire truth that, he's, of course.
But you said it's possible,
yes,
right?
Yeah,
so
that's what I said.
It's also possible that he's telling the truth.
Yes.
Because based on what Wike said about the governor in this latest media chat, it looks like there was not, Nigerians were waiting for fights, fire for fire. But it looked like, that didn't come. So maybe Seyi Makinde actually put all the cards on the table.
Because Seyi Makinde, if you listen to his own media chat, it was very intellectual. He was professional. It sounded like someone who, is just educating people. He wasn't really all out attacking anyone. He was just telling the truth in black and white. It's not the case of, trying to, sensationalize things. Just tell it how, it is. Like you said, put the cards on the deck. That's exactly what, the governor did.
And I think he was just facing one opponent, which is the FCT minister.
Yes, he was very direct.
But in this case, in his own media chat, the FCT minister, Wike, had two people he had to address. He talked about Seyi Makinde, but his number one point of discussion was his former godson,
Because politicians, when they leave their state, right, they understand that their state is their base. They know what happens when they actually lose their base.
Yeah.
You know, when a river loses its source, you know what happens.
Absolutely. But Nyesom Wike also said some more things about the governor of Oyo State. Now, guys, remember that these two used to be very close friends until the romance went sour, talking about Nyesom Wike and Seyi Makinde. So let's take a look at the next post, and you have lots of netizens jumping on this one now. Wike is still talking about what Seyi has said about him making his first $1 million when Wike was still in law school. Let's do it. So, Nigerian Affairs Journal says, that time Seyi Makinde made his $1 million. I was the chairman of one of the most important local government areas in this country. I didn't choose to be a contractor. I chose to have power, and I have the power. In 2007, he ran for Senate under ANPP. He lost. In 2013, they brought him to me to give him Oyo State PDP structure. I refused and gave it to Teslim Folarin. He went to SDP to run for governor. He failed with his $1 million. It was in 2019 that we agreed to give him the structure. I was already grounded in politics and I had no $1 million. But the man with $1 million was going around to look for people to give him structure. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike blasts Governor Makinde. So he called him a contractor, yeah. The FCT Minister is calling Governor Seyi Makinde a contractor. Is actually an engineer. You talked about his company the last time. Right?
Of course, his company, takes contracts, so you can also call him a contractor.
Yeah, but being a contractor is not...
his profession, he's an engineer by profession, but his company is actually more like an outsourcing agent.
Yeah, but being a contractor is not a put down.
No, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's big.
I wanted to clear that. Netizens are jumping on this one now. So let's begin to take a look at how they're responding to hashtag Wike versus Makinde. So, Mr. Zah says, funny thing is, this man doesn't think there is anything wrong getting rich in power. With the current salary structure for public servants, he thinks it should be. BetWizard.com says, it's how Wike brags about everything. He's going to, what's he saying now? What does that even mean?
Fail or fall.
Oh, that's like a slang.
Pride before. Pride goes before fall.
Oh, do you want to finish reading that?
Yes. He's going to lule from all his bragging very soon, and that he will look back and bite his fingers. He's owned too much.
Comrade Iba Monso says 2013 that Wike was still hustling to be governor of Rivers State. The same year he wanted to hand over Oyo PDP structure to Seyi. Who was he in the PDP then? He's contradicting what the FCT minister said. Adeyemi Rotimi says 2013, JEJ was still in control of the PDP and Wike was minister of state. So they are saying what he said is not what is. Yeah. Oh, you're agreeing with netizens?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Except he's actually saying that by proxy, by using the influence of the president. Of course, he was very close to the president, Jonathan, at a point. Maybe it's one of the states where the president would have, asked him to go oversee and decide what's happened and can't give me a report. But at that point, Wike is very, he was still very much trying to even become the governor of, Rivers State. So I don't think he's got the level of influence at that point that he's claiming to have in Oyo State. Oyo State is a very big state when it comes to politics. So I doubt a one-time minister for state, for education will have that level of influence to actually decide, the structure of Oyo State. Well, again, we really cannot say. But one thing I'm certain is if what he's saying is actually true, it must be that the president, then President Jonathan, has actually given him, the power to go and check what's happening in Oyo State and, report back to him. Perhaps that's what he mistook for influence of handing over the structure of Oyo State to someone.
You don't know that the former First Lady or then First Lady, Patience Jonathan, was solidly with Wike all through.
Very well.
Yeah, it looks like she held him by the hand and said, this is not my person. So probably he had some powers.
That's what I'm saying.
But then netizens are saying, no, it's not like you're saying, sir.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If there's any influence he's claiming to have at the point, it's by proxy of the president, not his own political clout. He doesn't have that clout at the point.
So let's let it lie at that, right? If the governor of Oyo State finds it necessary to respond to what the FCT minister has said, I don't see that happening. then we'll keep you posted. But before we let it go finally, do you think Wike was hot enough? Or were you expecting him to really unearth some skeletons in Governor Seyi Makinde's closet?
Very well, I was expecting because, like I said, the governor was very refined in his media briefing. And if there's anything, someone who is known to actually talk a lot, don't like, is for somebody to be very calm when they actually take, their words and they give facts when
they're taking you apart.
Yes, so they find it very irritating, so they come all out to actually, say so many things. And trust me, if the governor, I'm talking about the Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, decides to respond, it's going to actually open a lot of, a wound. It's going to start from that 2013, and trust me, it's going to be very interesting to see.
It will be a classical case of opening Pandora's box, I can tell you that. Yeah, but we move on to the next hashtag, which is, it just totally wipes the smile off your face. Guys, our very own beloved Anthony Joshua, iconic boxer, was involved in a road crash. Today, he almost died. 2 people in that car died. This same accident. I'm going to be showing you videos in a short while, but that is, our next hashtag. Ogun State is in mourning right now. They are mourning the victims of the road crash, and they're also glad that Anthony Joshua is alive. It would have been, gosh, I can't even wrap my head around it. I can't. So I'm going to take you to X now. So you see, the Cable has that post. The Cable also put up the video, which you're going to be watching in a short while. Let's do it. Hashtag Anthony Joshua. So the Cable says 2 dead as Anthony Joshua survives motor accident on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Anthony Joshua was involved in a road crash on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway on Monday. According to Benga Motosho, Lagos Commissioner for Information, the accident happened along the Shagamu Exchange axis of the expressway. Take a look, guys. Viewers' discretion is advised. I'm almost speechless, Ikechukwu. Anthony, just before he came, he loves coming to Nigeria. He loves coming home and, mingling with his people. Shortly before he came home, this Yuletide, he won some very serious match.
Yeah, $43 million.
Yeah.
It's a big fight, one of the biggest in history.
And that was a huge comeback for him.
Well, not really a huge comeback because...
But it was a comeback, sort of.
Money-wise.
Well,
but the guy is actually not really a professional boxer, just a YouTuber who jumped into boxing, and more like a lot of professional boxers was even against him, going to that bout. But because of the money involved, he had to actually jump for $3 million. That's a huge lot of money. I want to do that again.
So he came home to celebrate Christmas, and this happened.
Yeah, I find it very sad that 2 lives already lost, and we see people. I was looking for the medicals. I was looking for the ambulance. They should be in charge of that particular space at that point.
Yeah, because it looks like it was passers-by who were trying to lift him up.
And you see him, he was obviously in pain. Yes, and it's not a good place. A couple of months back, the world also lost 2 brothers, footballers, Liverpool players, and Diogo Jota and his brother. And now, I'm so grateful that he's alive, but it doesn't change anything. 2 other guys also died. It's not like his life is
really with those that lost their lives in this accident. The sparklightng.com has a little meat to that story. Let's take you back to X so you see how their reporting is. Actually, a publication, sparklight.ng, that's giving us the angle of the Ogun State government. Ogun State government mourns victims of fatal road crash involving boxing icon Anthony Joshua. The Ogun State government has expressed profound condolences to the families, friends, and associates of the victims of a tragic road accident involving world heavyweight boxing champion Anthony Joshua, who narrowly escaped death on Monday. There's another part of it. Let's take a look. The fatal accident occurred along the busy Lagos-Ibadan Expressway within the Makun axis of Ogun State and sadly claimed the lives of 2 persons. Anthony Joshua and 3 other individuals were reportedly traveling from Lagos to Shagamu at the time of the incident. Preliminary reports indicate that the 2 male foreign nationals died on the spot. Foreign nationals. Their remains have since been deposited at the Livewell morgue in Shagamu. Anthony Joshua and the driver of the vehicle were promptly rescued by security personnel attached to his convoy and taken to a hospital where they are currently receiving medical attention. The sport utility vehicle conveying the occupants was said to have rammed into a stationary truck along the expressway. While the severely damaged vehicle has been evacuated to the Shagamu Motor Traffic Division office, efforts are ongoing to tow the truck involved to the same location to facilitate a comprehensive investigation. So 2 foreign nationals died. It's very, very, very dark. I really do not know what to say. But take a look at the last paragraph. That the vehicle conveying the occupants was said to have rammed into a stationary truck along the expressway. So most of the times when you have stationary vehicles, there are supposed to be, there are signs, caution signs to tell you that, some vehicle is parked here. I don't know if that wasn't available. If it wasn't, then maybe there should be more education when it comes to stuff like this, so that, stuff like this can be prevented. But credit goes to the Sparklight NG for that reportage. Kechiko, finally, before we wrap this up, there is one more hashtag National Grid. But before we go there, though.
Well, I'll just take the word of, Shakespeare. It's better to be, on the ground than to be in it. And Anthony Joshua at this point is on the ground. So definitely going to rise up again.
Yeah. I don't know what to say, guys. So we'll move on to the next hashtag for today. And it happens to be the last one. Hashtag National Grid. I did some switching there. I didn't want for us to, wrap up on a very sad note.
Yeah.
So, National Grid is trending in Nigeria. Why? The cable has it, and Trending Explained has it as well. And of course, netizens are jumping on it. So, let me just take you directly to X, where the cable is reporting that the National Grid has collapsed again. Just in, power supply disrupted as National Grid collapses. The National Grid collapsed on Monday. According to data obtained from the Nigerian Independent System Operator, the power generation dropped from 2,052.37 megawatts to 139.92 megawatts between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. That's a lot. Also, out of 11 electricity distribution companies, DISCOs, NISO, that is the Nigerian Independent System Operator, said only 3 are able to load 120 megawatts. Can you even beat that, Ikechukwu? Out of 11, only 3 are able to load just 120 megawatts. And then it goes on to say Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, IBEDC, accounted for 80 megawatts, while Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, AEDC, took 20 megawatts during the period, and Benin Disco received 20 megawatts. It goes on to say all other distribution companies, including Benin, Eko, Enugu, Ikeja, Jos, Kaduna, Kano, Port Harcourt, and Yola recorded 0 allocation. Now, before we go to what netizens are saying, Ikechukwu, there's always been this talk that generation is not the problem. Distribution is.
Yeah.
How do you want to react to this?
I mean, this is one of the reasons why a lot of persons have been calling for power in its entirety to be removed from the concurrent list, and made to the exclusive list to the concurrent list, where governors can actually do everything themselves, right? Every state can decide if they want to use wind, they want to use whatever. I think it's really.
I think Lagos does that.
I want it to be entirety, right? I want it to be such a way that even during elections, governors will now use it as a campaign. I'm going to give you power, 24 hours power supply.
Talking about that, this administration, this president actually made that a campaign promise. Steady power supply. Would you say it's delivering on it?
It obviously is not. If it is, we will not be having this conversation.
But hey, let's take a look at the power grid itself. Don't you think it needs a total overhaul? And also take a look at the unbundling of NEPA. The root of it all. People had said it was faulty, for starters, that then President Jonathan had not done it well. They gave it to cronies, and these people are not doing well. There is a lot, in this sector. So don't you think really, just like you declare a state of emergency in security, there should be a declaration of state of emergency in the power sector?
We should not even go too far. We've done one that is working and we are enjoying it. The telecom. Just deregulate it.
It was former President Olusegun Obasanjo.
They took out NITEL, and now here we are. Just deregulate it completely. Give it to state governors. Do your thing. If you want to use wind, if you want to use solar.
But is it as easy as that? You say give it to state governors. These states, how many states in Nigeria is viable?
See.
These states have minerals that they are unable to, how will I say, refine and use.
Because very well, the mineral still very much is still under the federal government.
Which you're saying, which is why you're saying, hey.
So for that power, right? Companies and investors want to come invest. A lot of persons will say, okay, I'm the governor of the state, come and invest in power. They can cut companies across the world, countries that have done it and it's working. All they need to do is, okay, have the power now, come, let's do deal. Even if it means, okay, ensure that there's power in this particular country, you're going to take, certain percent number of years tax holiday, or you take certain percent of
I'm still very scared. I'm thinking if you give this to governors, some states might not see electricity for like a year. But you're saying
they'll do it.
You're also saying that should be one of the ways that the voters should hold, their leaders responsible. Right?
See,
you're saying that they can do it.
Very well. See, we'll do it. See, we have 36 states. Let's say 20 can actually do it themselves. Most of our states are, neighboring states.
So some states can supply.
Yes.
Just like Nigeria supplies Ghana.
Exactly. Two states can actually go into collaboration and this thing is going to work.
Wow. That's you thinking on your feet. It's a good thing. Jerry, I hope you're listening. Well, let's quickly take a look at what netizens are saying now, shall we? Netizens are reacting to hashtag National Grid. I have a couple of them. So Man of Truth says, and they said, once we agree to pay 225 per kilowatt, all this mess in the power sector will stop. Wait, let me start again. Man of Truth says, and they said, once we agree to pay 225 naira, per kilowatt, all this mess in the power sector will stop. But here we go, and it is even getting worse. National Grid collapsed in less than a week, during the Christmas season 2025. Kelechi says, can you imagine? Every time it's the same issue and they want us to pay tax. And Kelechi says there was a country, indeed. Do you mean there is a country? We're actually in the country right now. I know. Thank you so much.
And it's actually a case of, National Grid is making the National Grid collapse.
Yeah. Someone actually said that.
Okay.
Grid as in GREED versus GRID. Final thoughts on this before we wrap. Did you see the second netizen that had brought up the tax matter into this whole thing?
Definitely, because when you keep paying money and you're not seeing the value, it's hurting. And that's exactly why people, keep bringing up all of these things. It's all about money now. Someone also said something about, if we pay 225, we expect it to be better. But here it is. Yeah. Maybe tomorrow they'll increase the value again, and the money, the value of what we are paying for, we're not seeing it. It's actually not first. I think at this point, federal government should sit down and allow, this thing to be entirely up to state governors. I want to see state governors use that campaign. After 4 years, if your governor is not giving you light.
Is it in this Nigeria that you are saying that when, if it's time for election, they'll go and put money in bread or put money in rice or carry palm oil and groundnut oil and give to women? And these women are the ones that go to stand on the line to vote. When people like you and I, or people like supposedly in the middle class, will sit back at home and be watching TV,
No,
and you're saying
let me tell you how it's going to
this
happen.
will happen.
Let me tell you how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to start with, 1 or 2 states doing it. That's how it's going to happen.
Okay.
It's not going to start overnight. 1 or 2 states will get it right. And then it's going to be a question of, okay, if these people can do it, why can't you do it? And that's how exactly whatever party they are in is going to, governors of that particular state will be forced, because the pressure of the citizens in that state will be saying, hey, if these guys can do it, they don't have what we have, why can't you do it?
So it looks like your faith in the Nigerian masses, or in the Nigerian mass, in the Nigerian electorate has been renewed. I don't know what happened to you. Once upon a time, you had no faith. But it looks like...
No, this is a more... Because now the masses will look at it and say, okay, this thing is very much in our hands now.
Yeah.
This is what we can actually ask our governors for. We know they have the power to do it, but they understand this is not very much in the hands of the governors now.
I'll let Ikechukwu have the last say in this one, as we wrap it up. Our time is up. I got to say thanks to everyone who contributed to making the show a success. Bigger thanks goes to you guys for watching. As all of these events unfold, we'll continue to keep you posted. We'll bring you follow-up as well as fresh stories. So if you liked what Ikechukwu and I did, keep a date again with us, same time, same station. Until then, I am Vivian Uguche, and bye for now.
VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe. Hunger no get religion.
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Hello there, my name is Damilola Ogunsi, also known as the Goldfish.
Hi, my name is Chiki Bright Emmanuel. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello peeps, my name is Yomi